What's up, guys? Today we will be unboxing and checking out the Pixel 11 Pro XL. As always, I like to do these, get these flagships to compare to my older Pixel phones and see how we are progressing. But yeah, so this is gonna be a kind of an interesting thing. I want to kind of save my opinions. I didn't just want to like start putting videos out. I was a little disappointed with the um, when Google released this and announced it, I was just expecting a little bit more. I really think this phone is probably more so geared towards your 6 Pro, 7 Pro, and 8 Pro Pixel users. Maybe Pixel users that are coming from a mid-range, like an A series phone or something like that. But yeah, Google increased the price of this phone, so it's up there pretty much with a like an S26 Ultra now. And yeah, we also have decreased RAM as well. So the base model, even though it is 256, it comes with 12 gigs of RAM instead of the 16 gigs of RAM on the 10 Pro XL. So that was my kind of like thing that I was just like, man, we are could potentially run into even more RAM problems, right? All right, so let's unbox this. I believe this is like the green color here, and let's go ahead and get this out. And man, this is no, this is not green. What is this? Okay, so this is the fog color. I had to like really like look at it. It doesn't look like the box at all. That's why it kind of threw me off. This is not, the box makes it look more green, and that's what it looks like on the website. In real life, this looks blue. Like a really pale whitish blue color. This does not look like a green at all. I mean, I'm fine with it. I think it looks great still. But if you're expecting like a greener color, or it just on the website, I'm telling you, this even, I don't know if this camera is picking it up. That doesn't look the same. All right, I don't want to spend all day on this part, but essentially the same design. Um, we have the camera island thing here, which I still think these phones are still some of the best looking phones you could buy right now. Some of the best feeling phones as well. Let's go ahead and boot this up. Of course, this phone has a little bit of weight to it, of 226 grams. Of course, IP68 dust and water resistant. Google has removed the thermometer and put a LED light here that glows up with Gemini, and we'll have to look into it, but hopefully we can get some actual use out of it. The thermometer was something that I never really used, honestly forgot it was there. I don't really see this being any more useful. I don't understand the hardware kind of thing that they do with the back of the phone. If anything, I would say probably the thermometer would be better. How many people are going to talk to Gemini like this with the screen down? I don't know. It depends. Maybe some people do it a lot, put their phones down like with the nothing phones. So I could be wrong about that. But yeah, same old kind of design, which is not bad. I still think it looks way better than S26 or the iPhone. So let's talk about the display here, and it is raining outside, so unfortunately you guys might hear a little bit of background noise. But yeah, guys, the display is virtually the same here on the 11 Pro XL, which is fine because the 10 Pro XL has a a solid display. That's a LTPO OLED panel. It's 120 hertz HDR10 plus, 3600 nits peak brightness on here as well, and we're around 89.6% screen to body ratio, and a 1344 by 2992 resolution at 482 for the PPI, and this is the Gorilla Glass Victus 2 here. So I would say, guys, the display it's a good display. You get good colors. Like I said, screen to body ratio is fine. My issue is that if you're gonna charge this amount of money, right? This phone should have had an anti-reflection coating. If you use the S26 Ultra, iPhone, 17 Pro Max, and I'm gonna be drawing a lot of comparisons. I'll be comparing these phones, but yeah, if you're gonna charge this type of money, this needs an anti-reflection coating. It does matter, especially for me outdoors, especially if I'm filming outdoors. Having that glare is very annoying. So yeah, other than that, I don't necessarily have an issue. I don't really care for like the having like the super slim bezels and all that with the S26 and iPhone. Not a big deal for me. But yeah, I would like to see anti-reflection coating. I'm low key kind of shocked that it's not here. So besides that, I think the display it looks great. It's just the same panel as the 10 Pro. All right, so I do want to talk about the software just a little bit. This is coming with Android 17 out of the box. Of course, we have Google's new Tensor processor here. This is Geekbench 7. And yeah, so we get 7 years of major OS updates. We get 256 gigs of internal storage, 12 gigs of RAM on the base version. And as far as the CPU upgrade, we're about 20% better power efficiency and 25% faster web browsing and overall just faster app load times. But this is definitely going to be behind, of course, the iPhone and the S26 when it comes to performance here, especially GPU performance. Honestly, you could probably get better GPU performance on some of these mid-range phones these days, honestly, that we've had on the channel. Google has some type of like beef with like the gaming community, I guess. I get a lot of questions about that. If we just load up PUBG, these phones, Tensor chips, one are never really optimized to play PUBG at even like 90 frames or let alone 120 frames. It is a good casual gaming phone. I have noticed that this with the setup process, this is a very cool chipset. It's not, you know how when you set up a phone, it can kind of start warming up and getting hot. This one has been like pretty cool actually. So I think this is probably one of the most efficient tensor processors to date as far as like managing heat and not getting like super warm. But yeah, Google has like this beef with like not caring about the gamer. So even if you did want to switch from, if you were a gamer, you wanted to switch to a Pixel, you really can't. The optimization is pretty poor, and overall the performance is just not gonna match what you can get on a 17 Pro Max or an S26 Ultra. All right, so let's check out the settings, see what we got here. Again, I'm expecting same old, same old. All right, so again, 60 frames, nothing not surprising. It's been like this since like the 6 Pro. But yeah, it's always been just a decent like gaming device when it comes to just kind of casually playing PUBG, Call of Duty. But yeah, major downgrade if we're talking about competitive gaming. I know a lot of y'all like who is competitive gaming on a smartphone. You would be surprised. A lot of people are competitive PUBG, Call of Duty mobile players and stuff like that. A lot of people like to run emulators on their phones as well. Um, it is like a little jerky as well right here. Okay, I don't know what that was, but it's cleaned itself up. But yeah, the gaming experience, like I said on the Pixel, it's not bad at all. Like I'm gonna do, of course, more in depth, but it's not a bad experience. It's just it's not gonna be like these newer kind of like a Poco X8 Pro, the Infinix phones kind of geared towards gaming will kind of blow this phone out of the water when it comes to gaming. To touch on the Pixel software, it is always consistently smooth for me. Personally, I think this is one of the smoother experience when it comes to animation consistency, right? It's always pretty smooth. So that is something that I really like. And yeah, like launching applications and stuff like that is just pretty fast on here. Animations, like I said, even like stuff, it's just like kind of little small stuff like the charging animation, the fingerprint. This is in, of course, an ultrasonic. If you are thinking about switching from an iPhone, you do have Face Unlock, but remember, Face Unlock on Android phones in general, if it's dark, it will really not work. So just do note that like Face ID is superior in that area, but again, I would rather, you know, have the fingerprint scanner and the Face Unlock, even though it's not as good. But just do note that. But that's like an Android thing in general. It's like Face Unlock. If it's super dark, it just won't work that well. But a lot of people like the, just stock kind of animations and look that Google, offers here, which I definitely Agree. It is really nice. Hopefully we have retained the excellent speaker we had in the 10 Pro. I'll put this closer to the mic. All right, so the speakers still sound good. Really good bass quality. I wish the low note of that bass was a little better. I can hear it, but yeah, I still think that the iPhone and Samsung might sound a little bit better on that low note. But not bad. I would consider these to be excellent sounding speakers. Again, I'm gonna do that comparison, but I do consider these to be really nice sounding speakers. So yeah, so I do want to touch on the camera quality. So again, it's kind of raining outside. Unfortunately, as soon as I got the phone, it just started raining. So I haven't been able to take photos like I wanted to. But just taking the kind of photos, just around this complex, looking at the colors, you could definitely see where the improvements are. And I would say again that the telephoto lens has been improved, but I don't like to really like look at specs, so I really want to compare it to the 10 Pro XL because they could say one thing and then we look at it and there's really realistically no improvements. But yeah, you do have a better telephoto lens. It's supposed to do better in low light, so it is kind of like darker outside, so we'll be able to kind of see that. Oh, also nighttime photography is much quicker as well, so it just is able to process those nighttime shots really, really well. And yeah, so I'm kind of excited. The photos look great. You guys know I'm a big fan of pixel image processing, the colors. The video is supposed to look a lot better as well too. So, and these are things, and Google kind of has like this thing where they have an option to be able to give you like less AI image processing kind of looking photos. Um, so we're gonna have to look into that and kind of do a comparison with that. But overall, I think the image quality is great. Um, just my initial impressions. I would say the thing that pops out the most is probably I can tell the video quality, and the telephoto lens is definitely a little bit better, for sure. It goes up to 120 times zoom, but a lot of that is gonna be AI enhanced. So you are here with these Pixel phones. You hear AI all throughout the video, right? This is an AI phone, right? It's a 15 megapixel standard, 48 megapixel periscope telephoto. It's 5 times optical, and then we also have a 48 megapixel ultra wide. We also can shoot 8K 24 and 30, and we have a 42 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. But my first impressions, excellent cameras. I really love them. I'm gonna put them side by side, of course, with the Galaxy and the iPhone. So stay tuned for that. Light on the back. This is what they call it. High light. Works with Gemini. Calls from favorites. Be nice if they could update it and maybe like for certain apps or open it up to third party would make a bit more sense. But I don't know how many people would use the Gemini like this. Hey Gemini, can you tell me what the weather like is in New York? Okay, it's loading. Okay, what about California, LA? Yeah, so the light kind of like it works on that first initial press, I guess. It doesn't stay lit. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't stay lit. Hey Google, what's up? Yeah, now it's like not lighting up. I guess it has to. Does it? I'm like, does it have to be face down? Okay. Yeah, it's like it's like it's detecting if it's face down. Hey Google. Yeah, it's like it knows. It knows when it's face down, I guess. But yeah, I don't know how useful that is. You guys can let me know. Your opinion on that. Of course, the battery is something we're gonna have to test. We should have pretty consistent battery life with the Pixel 10 Pro XL, if not a little bit better. It's a 5,115 milliamp hour battery. We are at 45-watt charging. We have 25-watt wireless magnetic charging, so we can basically use, like, the iPhone accessories without a case on here, which is pretty cool. That's always nice to have. And yeah, so we also have reverse wired charging and bypass charging. And again, this is Qi 2.2. So overall, I do, really love the design. It's pretty much the same, but I still really love it. I don't know. It is kind of feels very much like the same phone, basically. But yeah, we're gonna have to test it out a little bit more. But what do you guys think?